Good evening, guys, and selamat datang to every viewers out there. So, welcome to Devil's Den. So, thank you so much for viewing the show. But before we do anything further than that, so please do not forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on FB, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for more FOOTYtalk and Devil's Den shows. All right. So, thanks again, guys. Please do not forget to do the necessaries, right? So anyway, just before we start the show, just remember, guys, we already have a good week ahead, a good week before this. But just let me remind you, today it has been almost 100 over years we have stepped into Old Trafford to play our first game since 1910. So it's a very remarkable day today, the beginning of Old Trafford in United's history. So it's just info for all you guys. All right. So anyway, without further ado, let me bring to you the celebrity of the show, aka Asim, well known as Serena, to the show. So, hi Serena, how are you doing?
Hi Dinesh, thanks for that. Always the amazing intro of myself. You forgot to mention about Phil Joe's birthday as well. Today is his birthday.
It was an option to me whether to mention or not. But again, I give the privilege to yourself. I think it's your favorite player, right? No.
Well, I see. If you can do anything with him, he can score from any part of his body. That's one thing you have to give credit on him. He can also use as a beam for any designer. Yeah. So happy birthday to Phil Jones. So have a wonderful, blessed year ahead from all of us United fans. Yeah.
Anyway, he's our new signing because we re-signed him back to the squad. So that's a privilege for him. So that's how United is right now. We signed back what we have. So it's okay, no worries. We'll move on to our distinguished guest on the show today, starting with a brother from the south who's now in Central, a Havoc United fan, a very well-mannered, polite, but very calculative, these words, fan. Introducing Mr. Barrett. How are you, Mr. Barrett? How are you doing, bro?
Fantastic, Dinesh. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me on your show, and nice to see you guys. And just can't believe that we know each other. All right, really small world. And as you know, I'm coming from the land of JDT. So yeah, and.
I like the pride, bro. I like the pride.
But I'm very close to Kelana Jaya Stadium now, so I have to be careful with what I say.
So eventually, you're still close to some stadiums, bro.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it.
Thanks, Barrett. And now to our next guest, the ever lively and also input-giving Mr. Kevin. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing, bro?
Hi, Dinesh. Hi, guys. I'm fine, thank you. Thanks to FOOTYtalk for having me back here again.
Thanks for giving yourself to the show. Maybe you're busy and all that, but thanks for coming.
Bro. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, by the way, nice seeing you and Serena as the host.
Oh no, because Vino decided to put us on trial actually to see whether we are really worthy to be members to that.
Very nice to see you guys as the host.
Yeah,
but nice. Then, Kevin, you don't know how our heart is beating.
Yeah.
You guys are doing great.
There's two different things. Huh?
You guys are doing great.
Expectations are very high with Vinod, so we'll try to either equate or maybe, touch the expectation levels.
Sure.
And lastly, we have the ever positive and objective fan, Mr. Duhain in the house. Hi, Duhain. How are you doing, bro?
Hi Dinesh, I'm doing well. Looking forward to today's game. Hi Serena, Barrett, Kevin.
Hi Duhain.
Yeah, man, it's good to see the five of us on the show. And we know that I believe he'll be watching the show, so we are anticipating a good report card after the show. So anyway, let's move on to our first topic, the review of the Sociedad game, the classic Italian job. So, Serena, maybe do you want to take this segment?
Okay, yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Dinesh. Thanks for the intro. The great, amazing work you have done as well for my co-host. Okay, guys, welcome to the show. So we'll start over with our first Okay, yeah, before that, for all United fans out there, in case you're wondering why we are not doing the post review for the previous EPL match, we already done it weekdays because we had a Europe edition special show the other day. So we will skip that, we'll go straight to this Europa match. So yeah, let's talk about this Real Sociedad versus United playing in a Turin, neutral ground. We won the game 4-0, amazing score. And I love to see the game as well. Before the match, we had some surprises on the injuries of Cavani also went a bit last minute of the muscle injury. So we would have seen the lineup have changed a bit, and there was the introductions of Daniel James also in the lineup. So without further ado, I would like to go straight to Duhin. What do you think about the match?
Yeah, Serena, I personally think it was a very positive result, very positive performance as well. But I think we have to acknowledge the fact that the way Sociedad was set up, the way they played their game, played right into our hands, and United's counter-attacking ability especially. And I think that we saw that clearly in the setup itself, where Daniel James was brought in for his pace, and we also had Marcus Rashford for his pace. And there was some early scares. I think, if I'm not wrong, Alexander Isak had a chance at the very beginning of the match. But after that, there were so many counter-attacking options and so many counter-attacking scenarios that occurred in our favor. And I think, though I would say that we were quite wasteful at times, I think there were 2 chances from Marcus Rashford that he could have done better. But I think overall, a very good game. A lot of positives, especially for the tough week that we are going to have in the next few weeks with the game against Chelsea, the return tie against Sociedad, and the game against City later on. It's a very positive result. It'll give us the confidence that we need, and hopefully we have the momentum to carry on, starting with today against Newcastle. Yep.
I see. So what do you think on the second leg is going to be? What do you expect second leg? Because for me, I think second leg is going to be much more relaxing match for us. I would say, because we already have the good lead. But is that also are we going to be carried away with that kind of score line? Because I mean, to be honest, we have seen that in Champions League, right? When we had an amazing lead on the first leg and then we come back and we lose it. So what do you think? What can we expect on the second leg, on the return leg?
Yeah, I think the return leg provides us with a lot of opportunities in terms of experimenting with some players, because of the fact that we have that 4-0 lead, and that 4-0 lead is from the away tie. Although, to be fair, we were not playing at Sociedad Stadium, we were playing in a neutral venue in Turin. But I would definitely want Ole not to go on with the same lineup. He should give Bruno a rest, especially with a tough week ahead. He should give some of our main starters a rest. But at the same time, the team, the coaching setup, the staff, they need to acknowledge that there should be no room for complacency. Like they need to be in control of the game. One positive thing which I felt was an indicator for the second leg was Amad Diallo's introduction in the 82nd minute. Though I was a bit upset that he did not come on earlier, like maybe in the 75th minute. I think within that 8 minutes that he was on, that 8 minutes or so, there were a lot of positive signs from him. His close touches, his ability with the left foot. I think he attempted 3 dribbles and it was 100% success rate. He did not have any misplaced passes. From my point of view, it gives me the confidence that he should start the second leg. I'm going as far as him starting the second leg. I think it's a perfect platform for him to be introduced into United's starting lineup. It gives us a chance to rotate some of the squad, to maintain the fitness and whatnot, which is why I would commend United for taking that 4-0 lead in the first leg. But at the same time, I totally agree with you, Serena. We've seen it before, whereby we take a huge lead in the first leg, not just with us, even in some other clubs, and then in the second leg they just bottle it. So I am quite confident that it will not happen with us, but at the same time, they will need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then based on Amad Diallo, yes, it was a great debut for all of us here. I think one thing also I noticed on him also, his speed level. There was one time when he and James were running both from the left and the right together, right? That the speed comes together. That was really amazing to see. I would love to see more on him as well. Like I agree what Duhin said. We have to see more in games. He needs more game time for us to see his ability. Not only in Europa and also in other local league as well. So I'm gonna ask to our newcomer here, Barrett. So Barrett, I want to ask about these questions. Okay, this is regarding Marcus Rashford. okay, we have seen Marcus Rashford has been, he has some problems with his clinical finishings and all that in past few games, right? And even for these particular games also, he has missed one sitter, the beginning of the match, he had missed the one big sitter there. So, and people was like angry and all that. But throughout the game after that, he improved. Even for the goal that he scored also, if you see the amazing fast reactions, from Henderson to Fred and then to Marcus, then he scored the goal, right? So what do you think about about Rashford actually? What is actually lacking on him, and or how do I put it in words? Like, what do you think Rashford should have done actually? Like, what are the things that he should improvise in this game especially?
Um, Actually, what we can see from Rashford, one of his biggest assets will be his speed. All right, so he's really fast, and I think we saw that attribute with Cristiano Ronaldo when he was with United. And see, that's the thing. At the time, United, was managed by Sir Alex Ferguson, right? So he specifically told Cristiano Ronaldo to actually use the head, not only the speed, and pace back a bit. All right. So probably what Rashford would want to do now, because he knows he has that asset and certain level of ball control, he tends to go off target, or rather try to be a bit more careful because of the speed, right? So I think strikers generally want to hit the target. Okay, so and then at the speed that you are going with, at Rashford's speed, what he would want to do is to actually hit the target. Unfortunately, it goes to the keeper all the time. Of course, which is more important, hitting off target or on target? On target is definitely important, because as you said, he had a sitter, but we must acknowledge the fact that it was a fast run up. And having said that, of course, he's a top class athlete, and we cannot be expecting him to give excuses. But probably maybe he could have take a one or two step to the side and figure out a way to control the ball and try and score the goal. So that is what, because you see, as players have split seconds to make a decision, and you are actually as fast as how you are playing. So probably he could, what he can do is look back at how to improve his clinical finishing, how to actually make use of ball control talent. And if you see the his statistics, I'm sure he's hitting the targets. Unfortunately, he's not scoring. Okay, so and he had so many chances along the way, I think, which we can see that he's going for the target, but unfortunately he's trying to get the ball on the middle of the post, and the keepers are there. And we have seen a few, like in Leicester's game, and also another match which I cannot remember. So
even Arsenal game also, he had missed out.
Yeah, correct. So maybe he could slow down things a bit, but as we know, United is a counter-attack team now. He's going to be super fast. All right. So probably in time to come he will improve, but as a United's top player, then you have to score goals as well. And he has the talents in free kicks and stuff. So probably that speed is coming into his clinical finishing, in my personal opinion, and he wants to be very careful.
I think he's good. He's good into getting. Sorry.
Yeah, correct. So that's what I can think about. And I know Soja, and we are having Ole is a ex United great and was a striker. What he wants from his players is that once you are there, you just give a go and then try and score. So he has to manage his talent now.
Yeah, but because I think he has a great credibility, in terms of dribbling the ball, getting the ball into the box, all that is okay. But just when it comes to the final decision, I agree on the part where you say target, but then you're just hitting a target, but you're not scoring the goal, because at the end of the day, the goal is also important, right? So sometimes it really baffles us also, like when we see there's a chance to score and then, we miss out and all that. Kevin, what do you think about our backline for this particular match? Because, okay, to be honest, before this game, we had a very bad backline, I mean, not say very bad, it's like our backline was having one of the crucial things to be discussed, So now for this game, we have pair between everybody and also Maguire in this team, okay, together with Alex and also Aaron Bissaka. So what do you think about this backline for this particular game?
Serena, how many times have we debated on the back line, right? Whether it's going to be Bailly, Lindelof, Lindelof, Maguire, Bailly. But time and again, we see it's another clean sheet, Bailly and Maguire, right? Maguire and Bailly, to be fair, they didn't have much to do during the Sociedad game. Let's not forget that actually Sociedad did not have much of a good game, bar the keeper actually, right? And we took advantage of that. So I think they had an average game, but it goes to prove to their statistics that Bailly and Maguire is a better partnership. But just since we're on the topic of the back line, I think specific credit should go to Alex Telles on the Sociedad game, because he did a really good job pushing down the left, and now he's giving Shaw a very good competition down in the left back there. Yeah, but just to touch on what Bharat said just now, because he was hitting all the sweet spots on Marcus Rashford. Sorry, I just wanted to touch back on Marcus Rashford a bit. It's all the sweet spots, he's a really good player. His game is good, even his passing, right? That pass to Bruno Fernandes, that the other day the pass to Cavani, if I'm not mistaken, right? Just across the wing. And then speed is there. He takes good free kicks. It's just that when it comes down to, he scores difficult goals, he makes difficult runs, but when it's easy, Rashford somehow is too focused to score an easy goal. So I think, yes, it goes down to clinical finishing. Yeah, just wanted to say that as well. Serena, yep.
Correct. That's why I said. That's why I said agree. At the end of the day, the goal has to be scored. That's why I said. At the end of the day, you can't judge by the free kicks, by the dribblings and all that. He was good. Seriously, he's good on that. But just baffled us because it had been many games. So we have a question here from Vinod. Hi, Vinod. Thanks for giving us the job and taking over your questions here. Okay, so Vinod was saying, what is Ole doing to improve this forward line? We have seen Marshall and Rashford being stagnant and also repeating the same mistakes over and over, which I agree. This is why I said, Dinesh, I would like to ask you this one question, especially on Marshall.
Asking me, right?
Yes, because I have this one question for you just for Marshall. Right. We have seen Marshall coming in on second half, right? So, what do you think on this particular decision making made by Ole? Should he play him? Because to be honest, it's rarely impossible not to see Marshall in the lineup. Okay, it's either first 11 or super sub. It's rarely impossible unless he's got injury. Because Ole has clearly said he see him as one of the class players. Right. So, would you agree with Ole's decisions of bringing him a super sub, or should we have him in a super sub after this or not, instead of having him in the first 11?
Okay. First and foremost, Marshall will never be a super sub like Ole. Okay, that's the written fact. Okay, but the second thing is, this you will hear from me once in a lifetime. Okay, Marshall had a very good, maybe quite a good game against Sociedad. I like the way he played for once. I like the way he played because he did a good hold-up play where when the ball was given to him, he was holding up quite well. And because why? He's not pressured physically compared to the Premier League style of playing. Sociedad was not so physical compared to the other Premier League games. So he could actually hold the ball and his releasing was good. And he was opening the game plays quite well. So he had a decent game. So then again, that does not mean that he's a good player, neither a great player. All right? Consistency is very vital. And also Bharat, just to add on the Rashford part of it. See, Rashford is overdoing it. At times he's overdoing it because he's over-trying his skills, I would say. He's trying to take every ball as a knuckleball. So the thing is, there are some balls as a striker where it's just a simple tap-in or maybe just a toe poke. It just takes one extra move to get the ball in the net and fulfill the quota of scoring a goal. So in Rashford's case, he's an excellent player. I don't have no doubts about that. But if you want to take it to the next stage where versatility is very important, so you have to be very versatile as a striker. Like we have seen Andy Cole and Dwight York. Dwight York is definitely a class finisher. Andy Cole does that bicycle kick. He does the crazy goals. He's the versatile player. So, in a Rashford style of playing, he has achieved a certain pedigree where he can be a respectable player at Old Trafford, can be one of the top players. But for you to cement that, you got to take your chances as it comes. Especially both of them were the guilty. Marshall would say the guilty party when we lost to PSG at Old Trafford. after that wonderful chances here. If had the goals gone in, we would have been a Champions League second round right now. So this is what actually chases me off, because as strikers, your duty and your only duty is to score goals. We didn't ask you to defend anything. So the United strikers right now has to provide that 20 goals plus a season ratio. Something
Instead
which
of just relying on Bruno Fernandes all the time, right?
precise, because Bruno Fernandes
Yeah.
is a playmaker. He's not a striker. So it's quite shaming to see Bruno scoring 20 goals and the rest of them are following way behind. Because we want Bruno to create opportunities, but he's creating opportunities for himself, being the fact that nobody is taking the chances given by him. So that is why I say we need Cavani much in the squad, because of his experience and of course class player, all over class player. Another Zlatan character we have in the team, where senior players coming in to help us. But I personally feel Martial and Rashford, there's a long more way to go. But for Martial, there's way more long way to go. For Rashford, he's there. I just want him to emulate Mbappe level. That's all I got to say.
Wow. Okay, I mean that's a great one though. That's a great one. All of us will be hoping for the same. But anyway, to guys, all of you there, remember Dinesh was saying something positive about Martial for first time, okay? Live on the show. Once in a lifetime, yeah, that was really big.
I should buy lottery today, since Dinesh said something.
Okay, here comes from Mino again. That was in the house. Nice to see the top powerhouse in the guest in the house. Going to be interesting. Yes, Vino, I know you'll be doing all that. Please come on the stage also soon after this again. And we have here from Kavin Raj. Woohoo! Bharat Sivaraj. Bharat, you have a lot of fans here, huh?
I will take picture of that. It's my cousin. It's my cousin.
Okay, so. Oh, JDT Ido. Yes, bro, JDT Ido. Wow, Bharat really having a lot of fans here.
A lot of fans.
This is what happens when you're the oldest.
Wow, Bharat, nah.
No, this is what happens when you're oldest in the panel.
And then we have here from Mahesh. Mahesh, thanks for watching. Glory, glory, Man United. Do you have anything? Yeah, here comes from Vinod. Martial had space to run. Should only use him more in Europe than Cavani in league. Utilize the strengths of each. So what do you think about this, Duhin?
Yeah, I think Vinod has a fair point. But it really depends, though. Not every opponent that we're going to face in Europe are going to set up such as Sociedad, whereby they have they have a really high back line, and it gives the avenue or opportunity for United to make use of their counter-attacking potential. So having said that, I don't think every team will set up the way Sociedad has done, so it wouldn't work the same for Martial against all the other potential opponents that we will get as we go on in Europe. But earlier there was a comment made that in the Premier League it's a bit more physical, and it makes it harder for Martial to keep hold of the ball and put in the proper releases or the releases required so that our team can transition forward. I think that's a point that I would agree with. I actually agree with Dinesh. I was quite happy with Martial's cameo in the Europa League. In fact, there were a few times, not just once. I think there were 2 or 3 times that he started juggling the ball while holding the ball. And I thought that was he's getting his confidence back. Slowly, I do hope he goes back to the right path and becomes the Martial that we need, that we need to contribute to the goal scoring, because we can't be depending on Bruno all the time. We can always say that since his debut for United, he has scored 33 goals, and someone wrote out the stat the other day that in that same period, only 4 players have scored more, and all 4 are strikers: Lewandowski, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lukaku, and Erling Haaland. And then there is Bruno Fernandes, who's not even a striker, but he's getting so many goals. But in hindsight, is that really a good thing? I mean, it is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm so happy that he chose United, that he's in United, but we need to fix that part of it. We need goals from everywhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. And see, I have said this many times. So I know a lot of people were saying that we are being harsh into our own players, criticizing them and all that. But again, at the same time, what we're trying to say is we want to see them improve improvise. We have seen that in Luke Shaw. We have seen them in a lot of other players, right? So we want to see them improvise. So that's what, if Marshall is doing good improvising himself, so that'll be a great news for all of us. We will love to see that because we have been paid to play. So we wanted to see that on the field as well. So, okay, thanks guys for all your good insight. Let's move on for the next topics, okay? Our next topic is going to be players picked on merit or past glory. So, okay, for this particular topics, right, I would like to have your comments on this. Okay, if I have to give you one example, like if you see the match, we have Henderson playing amazingly good, he has the good. Okay, so for me, Henderson has a really great match on that day. I really love to see him commanding from the back. So comparing him and De Gea, so De Gea has a past records as well. He's amazing save and all that. I'm not saying I'm going to rule out how great De Gea is, but how do you think the player has been picked? Not only for these two players, I'm just giving one of the example. We can go on with others, like even Greenwood, or for others, So how do we see this has been picked up? So can I have Bharat's comment on this? Bharat, careful, so I think Dinesh all just waiting for.
I'm just being optimistic, right?
Okay, no worries.
Okay, I have. If I have one issue with
You will continue.
Yeah.
Another fan.
Last time for a while. Wow,
This is a cop fan, Die Hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks
Kumran.
for watching.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, if you ask me if I have any issue with Ole, that will be I think he's being very lenient with the players. That's my personal opinion, as always is. And I feel that as a player, he was a player, top-notch player, and then now he's a manager. I feel that he likes to give players second chance, third chance. I don't know how many chances. And I'm not sure what's happening at the background, of course, just saying this. And I feel that probably he wants them to develop and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, when you do this kind of mistakes during Sir Alex Ferguson's time, you are not playing for the next 5 games. We've been debating about Pogba so many times. Sometimes he's fast, sometimes he pulls back the game. He is not fast, he is not going forward. So sometimes it's very irritating. Then we will be thinking, why is this even selected, right? So that is the thing. So I'm not sure whether it's merit or whether he likes it or not. But definitely we have a very congested front and midfield players. We are very congested, and now we have Henderson and De Gea also in our hands. Of course, Henderson is 23, 24, very young, and goalkeeper that is up and coming, being sought out in Europe. And he's coming from record in Sheffield United with very good clean sheets, and also Young Player of the Award and of the Year award and stuff. And of course, on the other hand, you have our great David De Gea. So what I would do is probably give Henderson a chance, because De Gea holds highest record of clean sheets in United. Yeah, surpassed last season actually. And but I think De Gea was given a chance to be United's number 1 goalkeeper when he was 21 years old. Henderson is already 23, and he has a lot of good records that is coming in from when he helped Sheffield United from Championship to Premier League. And so that will be very helpful, and a lot of confidence will be given for our young players. And our young player, average age is about 22, 23 years old. So that is the thing. Even you are put as a manager, what do you do? So, but I think at the moment, best would be to choose Henderson over De Gea for a few matches, and give him some important matches to play to build his confidence and see actually how he actually holds on. So I would not love to be in Ole's place, It's not easy.
Very difficult. Actually, thanks for the comments.
Yeah, we have from Vinod actually. Come on, Sunday, Ole will do a reset. Lindy and DDG will come back to the lineup. Why is Ole having favoritism? Henderson should have started long week ago, week in, week out. All right, so that, I mean, we don't, again, let's see tonight. Let's see tonight after that amazing performance against Sociedad. So let's see tonight. But we have some fiery comments in the section. So maybe we need some speakers to highlight this. Of Santosh me, thanks a lot for watching. But I think we know him, Santosh Babu.
Yeah, of course.
We have a wonderful team. I guess the players are completely clueless. Marshall is definitely a brilliant player. All right. But the Ole's tactic is bringing him down. I wonder if Ole has any tactics. And he goes on to add on to this. We need a real manager. Ole was just an interim manager. So this is a very huge statement by Santosh, you know. So of course, maybe Duhin or Kevin, either one of you all want to take up this. I mean, this is fire. This is all fiery. So bring in the extinguisher, guys. Come on, what's up?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try before Dwayne goes. I'm sure he has very good insights as well. But I think that the debate about Ole, you know, whether we want to change manager, whether Ole is just whether Ole has peaked, right? And we have reached the maximum we have under Ole. Firstly, to address the question, I think Ole does have tactics. It's wrong to say Ole does not have tactics at all. He's not a PE teacher. We've seen it several times. But I think what Ole thrives in that the last 6-7 years managers have not been doing is bringing a harmonious team together. Man management is Ole's strongest key. And I think it goes back to how he chooses his team as well, because he chooses his team with what I think is with two mission in mind. One is to have results, obviously. Two is to keep the harmony in the team. And that, going back to the example of Henderson and De Gea, if you, during Sir Alex Ferguson time, and this shows how great Sir Alex was, he can just cut off, you know, the likes of David Beckham. You know, if he showed attitude or if he was not doing well, he will just cut David Beckham off the field, and Manchester United would still go on to win games, right? Do that now with Rashford. Do that now with Bruno. If they act up, we will not go on to win any games, right? So what Ole is doing here, he recognizes the weaknesses in the team, which you see the ruthless tactic by what Mourinho was doing, what Van Gaal was doing. You know, he switched the team around, get star players out, you know, roll them, especially Mourinho. And look what happened. He lost the dressing room. So I think that is where Ole is the strongest. And now whether Ole is just an interim manager, I think we have to give him this season to find out. We give him this season to find out. Looking likely we're not going to win the league, but there is definitely improvement from the 2 years that he's been taking over. So that's my thinking about the Ole situation. Yeah.
Now, okay, Kevin, I totally agree with you. But Dwayne, I got a question for you. Now, Ole actually achieved the 3rd place last season. I believe the 3rd place. We won in the last day of season. We won the game against Leicester and we were 3rd place. So now, as the table looks like, we are 2nd. All right, ahead of the defending champions, behind a class City team. Okay, of course the table looks good. We are 2nd, but are we really table worth 2nd this season? Are we really? I mean, did Ole improve us this season, or are we just banking on other people's misfortunes, other clubs' misfortunes? What do you think?
Yeah, Dinesh. I think it's a combination of both. Because if we were not to acknowledge that other teams are not up to par, then that would be a lie. One clear example would be Liverpool. They are nowhere near the standards that they set last season, and even Manchester City at one particular point, they were not doing too well at the beginning of the season, and people were thinking like, oh, has Pep lost the plot? Like, is he reaching an end of the cycle or something like that? So if I were to not acknowledge the fact that this season a lot of teams are not up to par, that will not be fair, because a lot of teams are not up to par. And I don't like to reference Liverpool, but theirs will be a good example, because not only are they not up to par, but they also lost a lot of key players to injuries. And that definitely plays in our benefit, because we are direct rivals to Liverpool and City and whatnot. At the same time, Dinesh, it will not be it will also not be fair to not give any credit to Ole and the coaching staff, because I do see a lot of improvements, and I've been using this example quite a lot, but it's an example that I like a lot. Luke Shaw is just one example. A lot of people are saying that Alex Telles came in and Luke Shaw has transformed into a different player, but yeah, that's good. But you give credit to the coaching staff and also to the manager, like they're doing something right if they can consistently get out the best out of Luke Shaw, and he's improving. I think I read the stats the other day, just before this game week, for the year of 2021, which is only 2 months, by the way, but Luke Shaw has got the most number of assists in the Premier League. So give credit where it is due, and it's not just Luke Shaw. After Project Restart last season, and during Project Restart, that was key for us to climb up the table and eventually finish third, because we went on a really good run. Obviously, Bruno being our main talisman. But if you can recall correctly, Ole kind of sticked to a standard midfield three during the Project Restart, which was Pogba, Matic, and Bruno. Bruno being the number 10. And when we had the short pre-season that we had, where we only had one friendly match, a lot of people were thinking that we will go with what was working, and what was working after Project Restart was that 3 central midfielders. But I have to give credit to United's coaching staff and Ole in particular, because he has found another combination midfield that seemed to be working, that brought us up to first place for a short while, but did bring us up to first place, and that is Fred and McTominay pivot. And therefore, I feel like there are things that are working for United's coaching staff and the management.
Okay.
But Dwayne, since you were talking about the coaching staff, we have here by Vinod, Vinod was saying, how long can Ole be dependent on one-man management? He needs to be coaching team. He needs to do coaching teams hunting. He needs a tactical coach to cover what he lacks. Would you agree on this or not? Because you were saying just now he did great in in the coaching staff and all this, So would you agree that we should do huntings on coaching teams or not, in terms of getting the tacticals right and so on?
Yeah, I think Serena, to answer your question based on Vinod's comment, I think it really depends on perspective. As fans, we all have got different perspective and we've got different hopes for United team. There are some fans who, the moment we started to climb up the table and reach the top spot, immediately their target for the season completely changed. They're like, I don't blame them. Every fan has got a right to their own personal targets. But as we were climbing up the table, the targets changed. But you know what? We should go for the title this season. This season is the season. 21 is coming and whatnot. But there are some fans who prefer progress more than results. And I've always listened to pundits, because I do not know the game well enough. But people like Gary Neville and people like Paul Scholes have been saying it, that this job of transforming United is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen within 2 seasons. It needs several transfer windows. And I feel like I kind of agree with that. So having said that, let's give Ole several more transfer windows. There are some transfers that have worked. There are some that have backfired. But let's give him some more time. And for me, the most important thing is progress. And I personally do see progress compared to where we were before. I do see progress. So I'm going to stick with Ole. I'm not going to leave him out dry and hang him out dry, basically. Yeah.
Correct. I would second what Dwayne said just now, because I think to judge Ole and his credibility and whether he's the right person or not is too early for now. Because to me, I must personally have seen him improvising the teams. It's not only because of the league position. We are now from third to second. Even we are second today, so we are sharing the same point with Leicester. So we just hope that the Leicester games also will not be favoring them. So, but I have seen a lot of improvisation, even in terms of with the players as well. You see Pogba and him work very well as well. Pogba failed with Mourinho before, So in terms of that, I think a lot of credit should need to be given to Ole as well. So we have here from Dave. He said, "Welcome Bharat, Kevin to Devil's Den." And
thanks, Dave.
Yes.
Thank you, Dave.
So Dave is actually from our FOOTYtalk also.
He wants to know if Zidane is the right man for United.
Yeah, I just
anybody want to answer this question? Because if you're going to ask me, okay, let's put it this way. A lot of people are questioning Ole from the comment section and also the fan base outside there. So let's put things into perspective right now. We have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a former legend, a player who became a manager with Molde, went to Cardiff, didn't do well, won the league with Molde, came to Old Trafford, taking over so-called legendary Jose Mourinho, who's a master tactician, and then having up and down season. First, he took halfway through. Okay, so half season he had a up and down, and then the second season he finished third. All right, behind a very good Liverpool and Man City squad, who are managed by seasoned managers. All right, and now in this present season, we have Ole at second place behind a Guardiola-led Man City team who are amazing right now, and the defending champions are in sixth. You know, of course, they had their injury woes and all that, but they are the defending champions and they are sixth below us. All right, so a raw manager like Ole, who might not have the great experience, is still doing pretty well compared to the seasoned managers like Brendan Rodgers or maybe Jose Mourinho, the master grade one.
Perfect example, right?
Yeah,
Jose
the perfect
Mourinho.
example. So the thing is, the progress is a report card. The monthly exams before the midterm is doing fine. You know, it's doing fine for me personally. But again, the United ideology is to win trophies. We need to win trophies because we are the semi-final kings, and we always bottle it there, and we're not going to the finals. So that is the sad part, because it's like doing the hard groundwork, and we actually reach the peak of it. You're not going up there, you know. So personally, I feel Ole is for now the right man for the job, because football is just not about winning games, but it's instilling the mentality, the harmony in the dressing room, and so on and so forth. You know, under Mourinho, we had a spat with Pogba and a lot of issues here and there. So come Ole, I think things are better. Ethically and morally is better. But of course, the pitch performance matters the most, right? So we also have some comments here, you know, from Santosh again. Ole is definitely not the kind of manager we need here. Let's not even talk about 9-0 and 4-0. It wasn't a tactical win. And he goes on to actually add on to that. Okay, so come on, guys. What sort of tactics are you guys referring to? He uses one tactic throughout the entire 90 minutes. No subs till the 80th minute for most of his games. You know, so I don't know. But do you want to? Kevin.
Come on, Kevin. Kevin, go ahead.
Right. I mean, we are not. Look, the fact is, Ole is not Pep lah. He is neither Pep nor Mourinho, right? He is not a seasoned manager. He will not be able to think on his feet and change a game like how Pep, Jurgen Klopp, or Mourinho does it, right? I think we all accept that. At least I accept that is Ole, right? But the issue now is Ole is coming in to fix a very broken team. So until and unless that team is fixed, then we can move on to find someone that will focus specifically on tactics, because we've tried that with Mourinho, it failed. We tried that with Van Gaal, who's also a very revered tactician. It failed. So we need now someone to come and fix the team and perhaps maybe bring us further. And whether Ole is that manager, for now, yes, he is. But whether he is that manager for the future, once Manchester United is fixed, that remains to be seen. Yep.
Okay.
So the tactics, I guess the tactics that we are looking at, that what he does is he chooses the players well. He knows the formation that suits the team. He started with counter-attacking football, and now we see not just counter-attacking football, we see fast build play, right? Build-up play. We see mostly from the left-hand side, from Luke Shaw and Alex Telles. We see Rashford cutting in. We see Greenwood cutting in. So he does have tactics there. But again, he's no Jurgen Klopp, he's no Guardiola, he's no Mourinho.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin, for the insight. Of course, and we have also some comments from Dave B. He actually gave a suggestion where Haaland is the lineup for you guys, for us, all right? So, Erling Haaland, someone we can buy. But also he went on to add this. He said, grab Julian Nagelsmann before someone does. Zidane perhaps an option. So guys, I just want to ask you, is changing the manager the solution we need right now? Because I don't think so. We are languishing in relegation zone. Neither we are a mid-team table. We are second on the table, our respective second against a very good side. So do you think, I mean, these comments by Dave, do you think sacking and replacing the manager is going to be the answer to our so-called problems we don't really have right now? Bharat?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I don't think so. Because you see, look at Zidane now. look at what's happening to Real Madrid, the Madrid that he brought in to the Champions League final a couple of times and won it, was so successful, and then Ronaldo leaves and Real Madrid goes haywire, right? So what? Is it the manager's issue, or is it that we lose one very good top-notch player and then he's gone? Look at Barcelona now. Right? Look at Barcelona. Messi is still there.
Perfect example. Yeah.
Messi is still there, and if you build around Messi, they should be playing the same game. Although managers are being changed, I don't think changing managers frequently going to do any good for the future of the club, any club for the matter. We have seen it several times, even after Sir Alex have left. Talking about Ole, actually he reminds me of the beginning days of Sir Alex Ferguson. It took a couple of years to start, and an FA Cup actually saved his life, saved his managerial position in Manchester United. All right, you guys still remember that goal and where they were celebrating like crazy, right? It is actually a relief of such. At that point of time, without social media, without so much money spent, he was actually on a chopping board to be changed. So now our demands have changed and is risen to greater heights. And I don't think changing is the manager going to do any good. Look at the way he bought Bruno Fernandes. It is totally his decision to bring in the player, and I'm very sure that he's actually building a team around him, and that will give the kind of result that we're looking at. All right. Unfortunately, the back line hasn't really bucked up and worked. Even having player of the season a few years like De Gea to help us to really stop the goals. So what I feel is that he's actually finding the rhythm. As he said, he had so many players to play, and as what Kevin said, he's looking at the best harmony, the best 11. All right, and of course backed up by the players on the bench. So for in a very short period of time, if you're asking what experienced managers like LVG and also the special one couldn't do, then I think we'll be asking too much. All right, he has I think he has the backing and the support, and he has been with Sir Alex for so long in the dressing room, guys. So he definitely will be thinking like him. He has already said it during the interviews that he has taken note while he was a player towards the end of his career, how to manage and stuff. So I think we must give him time and space. And as what Duhain said, several more transfer windows to actually see what is his building. We wouldn't know, for the matter, what his tactics are in the room. When he doesn't change for 80 minutes, there has to be some kind of agreement on certain ways of playing, and probably the players are not performing. And that is the problem, as I said. The only problem with Ole is he's too nice to the players. So I hope it's not the downfall for him in United. And I definitely believe, yes, last season, Man City couldn't win with us. How? It is not like playing simply and we are getting that kind of result. He did really very well with Pep, with Klopp now this season, with Ancelotti. And these are top managers, right? So I think a bit of time and space will do good for him. And the way I see him bringing in players, of course, he bringing in all the midfielders and the strikers. I'm waiting for the defenders. But I'm sure he has some plan B, and I really would like to give him some time to show the kind of result that we are expecting.
All right. I have a comment here from Vivek Nair. So thanks, Vivek, for watching. So Ole is the right manager for Man United now. We are currently rebuilding for the future. If we finish second, of course, above the champions, Liverpool, and win 1 or 2 cups, it's an improvement as compared to last season. And we can improve next season with some improvement or defense. So there we have it. We have also some optimistic Ole buddies outside there. And again, by Santosh where directly is to me. Dinesh, if morally they are doing fine, do you think Van der Beek is happy? But guys, I think let's come to an agreement here. Ole did mention that Van der Beek was not the player he wanted. He wanted Jadon Sancho in the team. And Van der Beek was not a player of his choosing. It was a well documented, Santosh. Actually, it was well documented. He didn't want Van der Beek in the team. So that was Woodward and Glazer's FIFA 21 observation by maybe, I don't know. And and we have some Ole fans here. Lavanya, thanks for watching. I don't think it's the right time to change the manager. So I perfectly feel so. But again, we have a lot of fans buzzing here for Asin. Go Man United.
Hi, Tazri. He's complete as
And
first fan though.
yeah, his first fan. Thanks, Tazwin, for watching the show again. A very ardent fan of our show. Thanks, bro. And Serena, maybe you can take this. If it's not Jurgen
Okay.
Pep, then why are we keeping him? I'm not completely against him, but how long do we really have to give him time actually? How many more seasons? So, Serena, what do you think for this?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's the reason why I say. That's the main reason why I say Ole should win the titles at least by this season, or maybe FA Cup, or if he can get Europa, because a lot of people are there bugging. Baffling on him because we have no titles, But in terms of improvisation, we have seen a lot. Yes, I do understand few points that they have listed out, like especially on substitutions, the time of the substitution. Yes, we do understand. We do discuss about this as well. But if you see, week by week, right? There is some improvisations going on into the team. Even against Real Sociedad, also we have seen how he substitute the players in terms of choosing the players as well. So I think it is something that we still have to give credit to him. For me, I would definitely against anyone who say Ole has to be out now, because I'm really tired of this thing changing manager kind of trend. It used to be only for Chelsea, and then it's really baffled me because United is also doing the same thing previously. So, but now I think we have found the right one. We just have to give more time, and we have to see, because in terms of players also, right? We have bought few players. We have bought Teles. We have seen the improvisations of Luke Shaw as well. Now next we have to do defense, like how I think Vivek and I was saying just now, right? We have to go forward and look for a defense and then get the defense sorted out. After that we start slowly moving on, one by one. We have a young youth players also coming in, which we're gonna talk later on our next topics. But we are building the team. We are building the players. So just give him more time. For him to. I wouldn't say more means like we're gonna take 30 years. I'm not gonna say that, but at least I have seen improvisations on him, and I'm so happy that he is doing the right thing, and definitely no Ole out for me.
Okay. Thanks, Serena. We have a comment here from Kavin Raj. Thanks, Kavin, for watching the show again. So Ole is learning as he goes with the great Sir Alex Ferguson's backing. It can be frustrating at times, but I get what he's trying to build. Maybe he can be brave with his decisions. Example, he should have taken out Fred against PSG. Of course, we know the red card, and it would help us if our front line can be consistent. I mean, I totally agree, Kevin, but maybe Kevin. Kevin, what do you think? Is our front line the only problem we have, or do you think the back line's problem is more severe compared to the front line? Which is more severe right now? Kevin, you're on mute, Kevin.
Sorry about it. Yeah, I was saying definitely the back line. Yeah, because I think the forward line, we are scoring goals, although not from the strikers, but we are creating chances. The back line is really costing us. So I think with a improvement in the back line, then I believe we will be able to compete for higher position in the league, higher competition, and so forth. Yeah.
All right, Kevin. I mean, well said. I mean, simple and precise by Kevin. But Dwayne, what do you think about our strikers? I mean, do you think our attack is lethal, and do you think our work rate up there is lethal enough, or the guys got to step up more than what they are right now?
Yeah, I think so I guess why the question comes up as to if the front line should be improved more is because of the fact that we are not clinical enough, and we see this time and time again with Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford, whereby you get the feeling as a United fan that they need probably a minimum 3 chances before a guaranteed goal goes in, and it's a bit frustrating because you tend to compare them, or you tend to compare them against the best in their business, like the Sergio Agueros, the Harry Kanes, the Torre Henrys, the Ruud van Nistelrooys and whatnot. That's the yardstick that you compare these players against. And if you're going to be very honest, they are not there. They are not, in terms of clinical, finishing off the chances, they are not there at all. And that's why it probably gives us the illusion that the front line might be an aspect of United that we need to improve on. But just at the top of my head, we've got the most number of goals in the EPL this season. We've got the most number of assists in the EPL this season. So I don't think scoring goals, or rather getting goals and creating chances, is a problem. yes, admittedly, I do agree that we are wasting a lot of chances. It's quite obvious for us to see, and I'm sure Ole is working and the coaching staff is working in the background to try and improve on that. But when it comes to what should be the key area that needs to be improved on, without a doubt, it's the defense, the defensive pairing, especially the one that Ole kind of prefers and plays all the time due to due to fitness issue with Eric Bailly, but he always keeps on sticking with Lindelof and Harry Maguire. And I do feel a bit of sympathy for him because we do know that Eric Bailly is made out of glass, and every 3 games he goes off injured or is either not match fit and whatnot. And it really ties Ole's sense. It's like asking him to play snooker but while tying one hand at his back. Like he has got no choice. He has to play Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. People will say give Tuan Zibi a chance. I do agree Tuan Zibi should be given a chance, but at the right games. I don't think so he's ready yet for the first team appearance. He's not as ready as Eric Bailly is. Unfortunately, then again, Eric Bailly is made out of glass. So therefore, we see Maguire and Lindelof, and I feel like that is not good enough for United, not good enough for us to go for the first spot or to challenge for the Premier League title. The amount of goals that we have allowed, I don't see any potential in us winning or clinching the English Premier League title due to our porous defense. It's just really bad. But having said that, every time Eric Bailly is introduced into the squad, especially once he has gotten 1 or 2 games and he has got up to speed in terms of gameplay speed and whatnot, it's a totally different centre-back pairing. Like I feel so much more secure, and I feel a lot of fans agree with me in this aspect. So yeah, I feel like the centre-back is somewhere where we need to improve on rather than the attacking part.
Yeah, right. I think I just want to add on that also, Duhin. When you see Bailly playing, right, you see how Harry Maguire has the freedom to go front, try to assist, try to score goals, or try to go up front there,
Play left wing.
It's nice to see because he has the trust in the back line, Yeah, I know he's supposed to be a defender, but you can see that, like he has so much freedoms on that. Even the game.
But I get that. Frankly speaking, Serena, I get irritated whenever I see Maguire up front.
Because he's trying to go to the part of the world where he shouldn't be. The part of the world he's supposed to be.
He's trying to get his name also in the score sheet lah.
Yeah. I mean, with all these comments, we'll go to the next topic. But before that, let's run down the comment section. We have some wonderful comments here. From Lavanya. Not 20 years for sure. Giggles. Give him some time. We're coming close. Okay, that is a super cheap shot to our rivals. So yeah, thanks Lavanya.
That should be 30 years, Dinesh. I think she got it wrong. 30 years.
I think she was giving discount to them, like 10 or 8.
Yeah.
Pity them, like it can't be 30 years. I'm 36, man. I never seen social media buzzing since last year. So anyway, we have Jashnesh, Ole and Devil. Thanks Jashnesh for watching. And we have another comment here from Tazwid. Tazwid again. How do you guys think game against Newcastle, since Man United been cursed when playing against the bottom club, and like I always said, will it be Bruno United again? So anyway, Taswit, for this particular question, we will keep it for the preview. Will be coming up later on in the show. So again, thanks Taswit for the comment. So now, without further ado, let's go to the next topic. This is quite an interesting topic about our Welsh wing wizard, supposed to be but not be yet, Mr. Daniel James. Has it been grounded too long, and why is it so? So as we saw against Sociedad, the guy had a goal, the 4th goal, and I think he was working his socks off for the game, and I kind of amazed with his game because he doesn't get much games. But again, what we saw at Sociedad game, do you think if given more time, he can replicate that in the Premier Leagues? I mean, Serena, what do you think? Do you think he can replicate that in the Premier League games if you given him more game times?
Yes, 100%. I'm a big fan of him. I would really love to see him. No, because honestly, because you have seen his work rate on that game. So that's the thing about James. His speed level is that he can run all the way up. But he's only have problems with clinical finishing. That's one of the things that I realized. And also his body size, it's a bit smaller than others. Usually he get easily been pushed and all that. But other than that, he should be given game time. He should, that's the thing that you have seen him improvising. That's the time you see how he can work on his disability. Like he know what is his off and on and all this. Yeah, I would really love to see him in EPL because I think we need these kind of players. We need a fast players like him. I would really love to see him. definitely yes for me.
Okay, I mean, because the thing is, Daniel James being a Welsh player, winger, coming from the Championship, highly recommended by the number 11, the great number 11 we had, Ryan Giggs. So I think the pressure would have got to him, because being a Welsh player, So I mean, do you think we have loaned out Jesse Lingard recently in January? So do you think if United is not going to offer James more games, do you think it's a wise move to actually get him on loan to a Premiership team like maybe a Villa or a West Ham who are doing fine right now? But how Lingard is there? Do you think we should send him on loan so that he can get more game time and get some exposure? Oh, by the way, yeah, Ole signing was James. I totally agree. Even Bebe was signed by Ferguson. No worries, it happens.
Good point, Dinesh. Good point.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Kevin? Do you think we should loan him on?
Sorry, was it for Kevin or for me, Dinesh?
It's okay,
Sorry.
Dwayne. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, take one to you and see who gets.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Okay, do it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just keep my answer very short. If indeed he does not get the game time, as we move on forward in Europe in our endeavours in FA Cup, Europa League, and the Premier League, then I would agree that he will need to be loaned out. There's no point keeping him grounded in United when you're not affording him the game time that he needs to get up to speed and to get the momentum going. Having said that, I don't see that situation happening though, especially the fact that we are out of the Champions League. And we have this field of competition called the Europa League, where there is plenty of opportunities for the David James, the Amad Diallos, the squad players to get the minutes. I have a feeling that we'll be seeing plenty of David James as we move on. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, but again, okay, Kevin, I'll come back to you. Now we have Greenwood on the right of the field right now. Okay, and I think he's doing a very good, maybe a decent job for now. Let's put it a decent way. But do you think James could be a direct competition for Greenwood in the team? And maybe by doing that, maybe we can move Greenwood to the middle and put James on the right. But do you think James can replicate the same impact Greenwood has on the wing for us?
No. Daniel James is a headless chicken running in one direction. No, Daniel James to me,
I never
so
expected the fire
frustrated.
from Kevin. I mean, I
I'm
finally
so frustrated
knew
with Daniel James.
You don't like James. Okay, yeah, good.
Yes. I really am so frustrated with
Oh,
Daniel
no
James.
wonder
Look,
we have anti-James also here.
he is fast, okay? He is fast. Let's give him that. He is fast. He can drive to the byline. But against teams like Real Sociedad, he can do it, okay? Put him in the Premier League, right? Put him against West Bromwich Albion even. Just put him in Aston Villa. He's not going to do the same. He might go to the byline. Okay, the thing about Daniel James to me, right? He reminds me a bit of Valencia, right? When Valencia was playing on the right wing. Valencia was a one-lane winger, all-and-out winger. He will go drive to the byline, cross it in, and his crossing was good. And he didn't really. I'm still on Valencia. He didn't really make it as a right winger, so he slowly pulled back, and then he became a really good right back. And what did we see in Valencia? He built up his body. He knew he couldn't make it as a right winger, and then he became a really good right back. And then he became one of the best right backs Manchester United ever had. Now with Daniel James, he has the speed, but he doesn't have the physicality. And that's a problem. But if you don't have the physicality, like if you're like someone like Messi, like comparing him to Messi is a bit unfair. But if you are like somewhat like Messi, where you don't have that much of a physicality, you must have footballing brain, right? You don't have to be as a genius as Messi, but you have to have at least that to a certain level. Even that I cannot see in Daniel James. He will drive to the byline, like for example in the Sociedad game, right? He will drive to the byline and he took a shot. It was lucky that it went through the keeper's, right through the keeper's leg, right? It went through and then he scored.
Yeah.
Fine. But we have seen him do it several times where he drives to the byline and he makes the decision of taking a shot instead of pulling back to someone that is open and can score, or instead driving through the far post. For example, I can think that his teammates feel the same way, because during the Sociedad game when he scored that goal, I think it was Martial that pointed to the ground, asking and shouting for the ball, right? And when Daniel James scored, Martial was still looking to the ground and like surprised that Daniel James scored actually. So I think Daniel James, we've given him time. He's proven us good for us during the start of the season. And now I think he's fallen down the pecking order and he will be a squad player. And that's so he's not been grounded too long. It's just that he's, as Dwayne said, he will be a player that is good for FA Cups, for Europa League and so on and so forth, but not at the very top level. I'm sorry to say that.
Okay, I mean...
Sorry, Dinesh, can I protest that?
Yes, by all means.
No, I mean, Kevin, please don't get me wrong, because if you're saying that, right, I've seen that with Rashford also, where Rashford also sometimes will have all the ball in, and then he will also have some ridiculous shooting in as well, right? Same goes to Marshall that you see, he was surprised. We also were surprised that he's playing decent game that game, So I think if you want to put that into, you see, the difference between these two players that I mentioned and Daniel James is not getting the game time as much as these two fellas are getting in, These two fellas are getting all in every week, and then these two fellas are not doing their job in what they're supposed to do. Daniel James, in the other side, yes, I understand. That's why I say his finishing was a bit questionable. It's cleaning, he doesn't have the cleaning finishing. He's headless because like how you say just now. But he has the speed, and he can. I think given time, he could have improved his shooting skills, and he could have improvised the game and all that. So the main concern is I want to see him playing instead of him being on bench. Because this kind of players needs to be, like, I agree what Dwayne said, if it's not be given time, he's not going to be on the field, or he's going to be one game on one season or what, yes, you can loan out. If Oli is ever going to give him some time, giving him chance to play and all that, that's how you improvise players. Sorry, that's my thought.
Sure, fair enough.
I mean that's a very good thought by Serena and also Kevin. I mean, I totally agree with you guys. But we have a comment here from Jasnesh. Is it Ole's fault for not improving Daniel James? I think Pep would have managed him better. But Bharat, what do you think? Do you think that is a scenario where Ole is not doing a proper management on Daniel James, therefore we're losing his talent? Or do you think Pep would have done it better if James was at Man City?
Of course, when you're talking about improving players from nobody to somebody, Pep has a damn good, history. How he have developed so many. I just can't mention. Especially when he came over to Man City, I think when he took over, how players started performing. So agree. But at the same time, as I said before about Ole, and I think some will feedback that the coaching staffs that actually are the building factors of all the players there, because Ole cannot be doing everything, right? So definitely, you see, when he had a goal drop last year, the previous season, and he dropped of the pecking order. What I believe managers do is that they actually bring out the mistakes that has been done by players. For example, that pass that he should have given to Bruno Fernandes, I forgot the match, and Fernandes was super pissed off. What was that again?
Yeah, that was the Man City match, I believe. It was a Man City match.
I actually cannot remember that. And he, as Kevin said, he whacked straight. He reminded me of what Ole said. You take a shot, you will be forgiven probably. But at the same time, Bruno was all there without anybody there defending him. So again, I think I'm very lenient as well, like Ole lah. Given time, maybe he can prove, because as like what Dinesh has his favorite player, Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs is also my favorite, and he's coming from the same country. Only he don't have the height lah, and he's not left-legged. But he definitely lacked the physics. But I think in today's world, we cannot speak about physics because the physicality. Because look at what Messi is doing, and Messi and Ronaldo are one height difference in height-wise. And I think you need to find that fluidity, and also as what Kevin says, the football brain, to actually create options for the strikers. Sometimes we have to let our strikers to score. You see, we have the front line who's not able to score. But are they getting the ball? Are they getting the ball actually?
Yeah.
So maybe given time, as or in the previous question of whether he should be loaned, David Beckham was loaned. Remember, guys, before he a couple of half the season, and he improved so much. He scored from the corner, and probably that will be very helpful. Look at Lingard performing now for West Ham. So
Precisely.
probably that will. If what I feel is that because now our midfield is packed with players, and I think players have to really perform to be able to be in the starting 11.
You got to
And
fight for the place, maybe.
you have to fight for the place. I mean, week in, week out. I'm not talking about 1 month once, right? Week in, week out, you have to fight for your place. And only when you do that, I think you will be even considered to be in the sideline. And you're fighting with who? I think Fred, Bruno and McTominay already cemented their positions already because of their consistent performance. And I feel that Ole likes Marshall or our friend Rashford on the side. So if he can perform it consistently, our Dan James, definitely he'll be given a chance.
All right. Thanks, bang. Thanks a lot.
Barrett, maybe if I can just add one thing, right? Yes, you not only talking like Ole, you have the Ole baby face as well.
I wish I had some hair as well.
Anyway, we have some comments here from Kishan Balan. Thanks, Kishan, for watching. Nice meeting you, it seems. Yeah, Kishan, I know you're trying up to, I know Liverpool's lost, bro. No worries. We'll now walk alone. If tonight we win, I'm sorry, you're alone. But if you don't win, maybe we'll walk with you, of course.
Yeah.
So we have some comments from Dave B. Serena talking about Martial. Cloud is clear at the moment. Yeah, Serena. I mean, I'm basically. I'm not getting instigated, so don't worry. Nothing's gonna happen. But Dwayne, I got a comment here, which I think you might be the perfect one for this. What do you think? Foden and Daniel James, same physically, same size. One has the world at his feet, the other struggling to break through. Manager to blame. I mean, what do you think, Dwayne? I mean, is it the player's problem or is it the manager's problem? Because one is a Pep boy, one is a Ole boy. So what do you think?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if my input for this question might be necessarily correct. It's just my opinion, Dinesh. But I think, Jasnesh has got a fair point because they are physically built the same. Though I have to say that different set of skills, different ball player altogether. Phil Foden is entirely different player from Daniel James. For one clear example that I can recall of is James has got better raw pace compared to Phil Foden. But I mean, it does beg the question though, like why is it that physically they're built the same, but Phil Foden is like touted as the next world beater, the English Iniesta and whatnot. And credit to Pep because he seemed to have found out a way to bring out the best out of Phil Foden. And the one that is really clear in my memory is the game against Liverpool where he was absolutely unplayable. Phil Foden was really, really good. But I do have to remind viewers and the fans out there, like I've been following Phil Foden even before he made his first team debut for Man City. He was part of the England under-18 squad that won the European Cup alongside with Jadon Sancho. He was the player of the tournament in that game. And this is an international tournament, under-18 international tournament against Brazil's, the likes of Spain with their young talent and whatnot, and France with their really brilliant team that had Kamavinga in the squad. England won the whole tournament, and Phil Foden won the Golden Ball Award, the player of the tournament. So I think in terms of potential, Phil Foden has always been clear. Prior to Ole joining United, I think only a few fans have heard of Daniel James. It wasn't that clear. Like those who have been following the championship would have known because he was tearing the league apart for Swansea. Even then, it's not like he was scoring every game. He wasn't the top scorer in the league during the championship level. So I feel like in some ways, people have the right to ask that because Pep, give him credit, he has brought another level of genius out of Phil Foden. But it's unfair to bring James into the question and have a direct comparison. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that was a very good insight by Dwayne. You can't compare both characters. But you know what? I think I've been very calm for a long time. So let me just let go what I have in my mind. All right.
Go for it, Dinesh.
Okay, because as an individual point of view, I mean, football and our jobs are all alike, okay? When we don't do well, we're not going to blame the manager. The manager is going to come and just whoop us out, all right? So the manager here being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he has his own idea and also the own philosophy, all right? As a football player, we don't need to get instructions to do something. Football players need instinct. Football is based on instinct. Instinct to score, instinct to defend, instinct to break someone's leg if it's necessary. This is all. I mean, let's be honest. when you're the last man and you're running away and striker, if you have to do a tackle, you have to do it. So this is football brains, football knowledge. Okay, so now we can of course depend on the manager for about 60 to 70% of the performance on the pitch, but the remaining 30% always goes back to the players playing on the pitch, right? Okay, so we have people like Marcia, we have people like James. Those are the underperforming players in the team. All right, now you have people like Scott McTominay, a young player from the academy. He came in under Mourinho, I believe. Under Mourinho, he was not a mainstay, but under Ole, he became a rock in the midfield of our team. Why did he become a rock? It's not that he's a midfield genius like a Roy Keane or Makelele or something. He chose to up his game. He chose to work hard. He chose to be a better player. He chose to learn from his mistakes. Okay, so if the players are playing on the pitch, it's simple. If you got to run in the wings, on the flanks, you got to cut in the middle. It's all brains, because football is just not a one-way path, like monotonous, like how Valencia was doing. If you can't do that, then you should try to. There is no harm in failing in a failed dribble. There is no harm. But the sin would be not attempting a dribble because you're timid about it. Okay, I mean, Ryan Giggs, the greatest number 11 we ever had, the English most decorated player. When he came to Manchester United, he was also timid because you have people like Kanchelskis, Ince, Hughes, Robsons, and the star players. But again, he made it, and then he spurred the class of '92 to come in. All right, those are a young team, and you know what? They whooped everybody's ass for 2 decades. Let's be blunt. They whooped everybody's ass. Now, these young players have more exposure. Let's be honest. They are surrounded by the social media, the media. They can, of course, open a one night before sleeping, just watch a Messi clip and try something. The players now have the avenue to learn something from other players abroad. We have good wingers like Kingsley Coman, a few players out there. So our wingers, if they're serious about things, they should try something new. They should practice something new. They should train something new. You can't expect the manager to come and script your game. You cannot script your game. So you cannot blame Ole 100% for not bringing him as a better player. Phil Foden knew he was playing for Guardiola. He knew he was playing for Man City. And he knew that he had a chance. He made use of it. Guardiola is not going to call you out of the field and tell you what to do, and you're going to do that. It's football brains. It's basically football brains. So if you do not actually take the brains and use it wisely on the pitch, of course you're going to go down the pecking order. So Daniel James, no matter if he's comparison to Ryan Giggs or a prodigy of Giggs in the Wales team, that is not an issue. He was given a chance, he did not perform. So if these players are serious about playing for Man United or even any other club for the equation, like even a Liverpool or Arsenal or Man City, I don't care. But every player has to justify the role on the pitch. Am I right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't justify the role, then what's the fact of being a player? I mean, that's my personal opinion. But again, if anybody want to defer to that, I would like to listen.
I think I'm quite clear on that. Yeah, I think Dinesh has said. That's why the fire on him is really sparkles.
No, I think speaking of man management, I think Wan-Bissaka has improved his crossing. I think we should agree to that.
Precisely. Yeah. Luke Shaw has improved his game.
Luke Shaw, look at him.
If Luke Shaw was a write-off, people say he got a heavy body, he's not going to run fast. But today, he would be one of the top 3 players I would choose in my first 11. Besides Bruno, maybe Maguire, because sadly is the captain, and of course Luke Shaw will be a mainstay at the back. So if he can do it, if he can be a rubbish for about 2-3 seasons, and today he's like a gem of a player we have, why can he do and the rest not do? But again, we have some comments from Dave B. Your thoughts were no brilliant, Dinesh, well constructed. It's not a construction, it's just fact. We have been football fans for many years. We have not only seen Man United play, but we have seen a lot of other clubs play. But again, I think we cannot be blaming the manager for every single, if a player does not perform well, the tactics might be wrong, of course, but being adjustable to the situation and create something out of the blues, I think would really help the team. That's what my personal opinion is. So I don't know. That's what I personally, because I kind of was kind of reading all these comments by all the viewers, and I was just thinking we can't be always pinpointing the blame on a certain individual like Ole, So we got to also blame the players, But Kevin, what do you think? Do you think I made a point there, or do you think we still have to
I
go
agree.
back?
I agree, Dinesh. I mean, not all. At the end of the day, it depends. It's a mixture of several things, whether you have talent or not. Obviously, Dan James has talent, right? Obviously, he has the talent because he has the speed. It's just that he's not at the par of the Premier League yet. He's still considered young-ish, right? I think he's 23, 24 maybe. So he might have a chance in the Premier League, but maybe with a different club. I think what Dinesh and I as well am saying is he is not ready for Manchester United at the highest level. So I think
meaning loaning him out would be a wise move, right?
Yeah. I think especially since we have Amad Diallo now, I think loaning Daniel James out.
Asking. Kevin, that question, I think you could answer that. Where does Diallo play? Will he overtake DJ in the order? What do you think about it?
Okay, from what I've seen on YouTube, right, that's where I can come from. Diallo is a player of flair, right? So he dribbles. Apparently, he plays like Messi. He's being hyped up a lot. So if that is true, right? If that is true, he will definitely overtake Daniel James in the pecking order. Okay. From what we can see in the glimpse of the Real Sociedad game, he manages to avoid tackles and that acceleration, that speed, that burst of speed he has matches that of Daniel James. But he has an advantage with his dribbling skills. And from what the under-23 games are showing, Amad Diallo is a force to be reckoned with. But whether he is ready or not for the Premier League, at least, that is yet to be seen. So I'm very excited. I'm actually going to tell you right off, I want Diallo to be ahead of Daniel James. I'm sure Daniel James is a nice guy and everything, but
but again,
let's see.
I agree, Kevin. But the thing is, it's also good because we have competition. We need competition to be on par. Unless you're Messi and Ronaldo, because they have no competition. Minus Ronaldo, Messi, there are no more world-class players. So every player has to have competition to improve. And then we saw in Shaw.
True.
But we got a master comment here for Asin, and I think it was an awesome comment. Asin, sorry, Serena. A bright suggestion for you: you should anchor an all-girls Devil 10 talk show. I'm sure you're going to pass the flying colors. So we also have that in pipeline. So Asin being the most vocal and intelligent female pundit we have in Malaysia right now. So even Singapore, just to give you guys a heads up, it's an off-topic thing, but again, it's a very important thing. But we have a comment from.
Let me just add that on. So Dinesh, since it's already out, right? Yes. For all the ladies viewers out there, if you're watching this with your husbands or your boyfriends or whatever, right? If you are a diehard United fans as well, please come and contact us, because this has been one of our aim as well, to have all United girls show as well. So if you know anyone else, it doesn't have to be United. I'm so sorry. It can be any other club also. So we're gonna have a mixture. So if you know anyone out there, you can have their contact and all that. Just contact us, okay? Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Asin, for the promotion. We need you for the show anyway. So guys, anyway, so there's Daniel James. So God bless him and his career. So now let's move.
I'm sad because Kevin called him headless chicken.
I'm sorry, Serena. I'm so sorry.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal.
He's headless chicken and Martial is a zombie on the pitch. We wouldn't know.
Okay, let's cool down, guys.
Anyway, so guys, let's go to the main itinerary of the day. Man United versus Newcastle United. Tomorrow morning, 3 o'clock, we have the game. We had a good run against Sociedad. We had a miserable game against West Brom. So it's like a share market. The team is up and down. So what do you guys think? Maybe about it. What do you think? What's your take on this game? Okay, we keep the predictions aside. But who do you think would be a first 11, and why would you want to choose that first 11?
Seriously speaking, if I'm Ole, I will choose the formula that worked a couple of days back. As simple as that. Looking at the stats, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Looking at the stats, definitely Newcastle going to come fighting for 3 points. They are just 3 points away from the relegation zone, and they're going to come in as much as possible. What is our weakness? what actually our weakness are. There's only one, I think, which is the back four, probably the back two. I don't know whether they're going to use Andy Carroll or not for his aerial ability and stuff, but it doesn't really score that much of goals. But if we're going to get a lot of, we're going to give set pieces, it's going to be very physical, because if you see their games, they are getting very physical. They are rushing. They are actually won the points, and it's going to be very physical. And if they get a couple of free kicks on our half, it's going to be a bit dangerous, with our defense not really performing well in set pieces. So we'll only choose a very optimistic squad like at Sociedad. Sociedad is a top 5 La Liga team. We did fantastically well, and Sociedad against Barcelona in their cup was actually a tight result, and we did really well, backing them 4-0. So and they have the brain of David Silva there. So coming here, and I don't think they can take a step back and relax and play. I feel that if you want to be a champion of the Premier League, you have to win every point that is in front of you. And furthermore, we are 10 points behind. And they have to have a winning team that will go and get that 3 points, and not to sit back and relax like what we did with Everton, until the last kick of the match. So I feel that if I want to be very, very optimistic and I want to go all out, I think I will choose the best 11 that are performing now. And if the formula for Sociedad worked, why not? We go for it. And a lot of fans are already asking for Ahmad Diallo to come and start, or just given probably 20 minutes or 30 minutes, not just the 10 minutes. It depends the score of the game, right? So Steve Bruce's neck was on the chalkboard, and ours, we can't lose any more points. And it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be end-to-end. I hope it's not really a tight match. I think both teams going to go up front, not hold back at the back, and I think what's going to happen is what our front forwards going to do at the final third, that is going to be crucial. There are going to be goals. There are definitely going to be goals. I hope it is for United the most, and I hope they don't miss a lot of chances. We could have gone 6 or 7-0 with Sociedad. I don't think we can afford to do this in Premier League, and especially with the bottom clubs. As what you guys have said, we have bad record with them. We need to go all out and kill the game from the onset. That's my point.
Okay, but then, as per your input, would you still stick to the same first 11 against Sociedad, or would you want to do any more tweaks to the squad?
As I said, they had to stifle David Silva because he's the brain. No choice. All right. I would say yes, because that means even in the goals we're looking at Henderson. All right. Henderson, in the beginning of his career in Sheffield, he has gone for a lot of, even with us, a lot of clean sheets, and we cannot afford to let any goals go in, right? So, and of course, there's Eric Bailly there. Hopefully, he didn't get any injury the previous match, and if he can start, it will be fantastic. And I think I will stick to that. If I am Ole, why change a winning format? Of course, and as you guys have agreed, we don't have to have that kind of a same gear in the second leg for Real Sociedad, and we are playing home. I know our home record is not so fantastic. That's another thing to consider, because we don't get the same kind of energy, all right? And our away record is fantastic. So I hope they psych up a bit and they use the same energy, because I think they have to use the same energy to go into this game, because our home record also is terrible. So I really hope that he sticks to that first 11, if you ask me.
Okay.
But sorry to ask, if you're going to stick with the first 11, you mean Daniel James is starting. Kevin might not be happy,
Maybe the platform for DJ to prove Kevin wrong. I wouldn't know.
Kevin will be like, oh, Barret, please, no, I don't want to see Daniel James.
We will know in a couple of hours' time.
Kevin, what do you think?
But if he can prove me wrong, sorry.
What's your take on the game? What's your take on the game?
Right, Dinesh, I have to say, I think I'm a bit worried for this game for two reasons. One, because we have, as Barret said, we have quite a bad track record against this relegation teams, right? Two, Leicester and Manchester City are playing before Manchester United. Okay, what that means is Leicester may drop points, Manchester City may drop points against Arsenal. Okay. But that is giving too much credit to Arsenal, but that is a different talk show lah. But so if Leicester and Manchester City drop points, right, then the pressure is on Manchester United to gain points and to close the gap between Manchester City and Manchester United, increase the gap between Leicester and Manchester United, right? So now we are, I think, about 10 points behind. We are 10 points behind Manchester City. We could go 7 points behind and close that gap. So the second part of my concern is Manchester United don't really do well under pressure. I'm hoping that is not the case. I'm really hoping that is not the case. And added with the fact that we are without, I think McTominay is in doubt. Van de Beek is in doubt. So midfield, I think we are only left with Matic. Matic, Bruno, and Fred, right? So, and we don't have Cavani today as well, which means we have to rely on Dinesh's favourite player, Martial lah. So now that's a bit of a worry. I'm slightly relieved that we're playing against Newcastle in a time like this. But there is a plot for a plot twist lah. I'm quite concerned of that, but hoping it's not drop points, it's gaining points.
Okay, but who's your first 11? I mean, your preferred first 11 with all the injuries given. How would you start the back?
Definitely, Dan James is not in the lineup.
Definitely. I don't think he's even in the squad. So I think my back line would be Bailly and Maguire.
But your goalkeeper?
Sure, obviously. Oh, goalkeeper. Sorry. Tough question. I'll go with David De Gea lah. I'll go with David De Gea.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And how about your back line? I mean, Bailly and Maguire.
Back line. So Bissaka, Shaw, Bailly, Maguire, and then midfield we're practically left with Matic, Fred, Bruno. I'm guessing Rashford on the right. Martial has to play striker. Rashford on the left and Greenwood on the right. And maybe Amad Diallo to come in to make his debut, Premier League debut. Yep.
Why not you go the front three of Rashford on your left, Diallo, maybe Rashford on the left. No, maybe Diallo on the left, Rashford on the right, and Greenwood in the middle.
That could work also, but that means Diallo has to start lah.
Yeah, but when I get
Martial out of the picture.
It's like indie bingy bonky, you know. So again, now we go back to the main man, Duhain. What's your take, my brother?
Yeah, Dinesh. I would like to echo out what Kevin said earlier. There is a potential banana slip situation with the game against Newcastle. So I hope the players and the coaching staff are aware and they are not complacent at all. But just like to politely disagree with Barrett, I don't think we should set up the same way we did against Real Sociedad. Primarily because it's two different ball games. The fact that Newcastle are just hovering above the relegation zone kind of tells me that they are definitely going to play with a very low defensive block. More so that they are playing at Old Trafford, they're going to be playing with a low defensive block. Unlike Sociedad, where Nacho Monreal and the other three defenders were playing a very high defensive line that provided us the avenue for David James and Rashford to run behind. Even provided us the avenue for players such as Fred, who are not known for releasing the killer pass, provide the third assist for Marcus Rashford's goal. We will not see that against the bottom 5 Premier League teams because they are well known for playing the low defensive block. So having said that, I politely disagree, and I think that they will set up differently. My 11 will definitely be, or rather the 11 that I think Ole will go with rather than my 11. What Ole will go with will be DDG, Lindelof, Maguire, Luke Shaw, which is a must, I believe. Wan-Bissaka, Scott McTominay, Fred Pivot. And then because Cavani might not make it back in time for the game due to the injury, so I think it's going to be Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood. And of course, last but not least, not forgetting, I cannot tell you how much we cannot overstate how important this player is, but our Portuguese Magnifico, Bruno Fernandes. And just for me to linger on a bit about Bruno Fernandes, because a lot of neutral fans and fans, overall football fans, have been saying that United have been so heavily reliant on Bruno so far, to go calling the club as Bruno United, and I think we should take that as a positive thing, because he has been such a world-class player for us. If I were to cherry pick where Bruno can improve on, and again, this is me cherry picking the very small details, because I don't think it's in our United DNA to overplay a fall. Like once you get a tackle and overplay a fall, I feel like Bruno does this quite often, and it is a bit annoying. But I'm never going to blame him because of the amount of goals and assists that he brings to our squad. And just something here in the Premier League right now. Among midfielders, there's statistics that Thiago Alcantara, he leads in the most number of the whole league. He leads in the most number of thumbs up provided during a game. So hopefully Bruno can meet that target also.
I thought finger pointing, right?
You seriously had it. You seriously had it.
In line with yesterday's results, I cannot miss an opportunity to rub one in their faces. I mean, I'm not Rashford. I don't.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Tuin. That was a thumbs up of a comment by you.
But sorry, which saying you putting Lindelof on your backline?
Ole. I think Ole is definitely going to sit with Lindelof and Maguire. I personally would like Bailly and Maguire, but Ole is going to sit with Lindelof and Maguire.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Tuin. And now I come back to the lady herself, Serena. Oh, sorry. Asin, what do you think?
Guys, before that, I just want to clarify this Asin thing, right? Because if you guys confused, right, actually, Asin is a name given by my niece calling me, but then it's actually given by one Southern India celebrity's name. So it's just one comment that my niece made in the section, and it became a overall overnight thing. So I hope those of you who are Asin fan or not, please do not vomit or whatever. I truly apologize.
You are our Southern Malaysian Asin, then.
Bollywood superstar. So now we need a superstar's opinion and thoughts on the game.
Okay, yeah. Back to the game, right? Newcastle. Okay, yeah. I think I would agree with what Tazwik said just now, right? We always flop against the bottom teams, and this is what really worried me as well, because as much as they need point for them to move away from relegation zone, and we also need our points, in order to get our, especially against Leicester, we just have to make sure that we do not drop below. I'm also worried, right, if they're going to sit back, right, this game, right, if they're going to sit back, it's also going to be hard for us to penetrate as well. But depending also, because I see, I would agree some of your lineup with Marshall and all that, but being Marshall is Marshall. But I don't know, like I said, if he improvise in Real Sociedad, I hope he do something in this game. So in terms of player selection, this match I would definitely like to see Henderson playing, because I am really, 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 really happy to see him in the game of Real Sociedad, because the way he commanded his front four, right, it was really, really, really amazing. That kind of leadership I do not see much in Liga much nowadays, especially in commanding field. So if one of the things that we are worried so much is about backline, right? So we have one person at the back who can control or give command, that will be great. I think the rest will be just go with you guys, but definitely I would agree with Kevin as well. No Daniel James. Not because he's going headless chicken or something, but it's just I think, for this game, probably I would not see him also. Then you can just play off with Rashford and Marshalls, right? But maybe if you're going to have a good, comfortable score at maybe first half or maybe beginning of second half, maybe you can try to put him in. I wanted to see him play more like how I wanted to actually prove everyone wrong that Daniel James had something in him, especially Kevin. Kevin, we are wearing the same color shirt today, But then we come against this one. So I hope it's goes to there.
Yeah. Okay, interesting, Serena. Well, from my side of it, I have a certain theory which I'm not sure you guys agree, but let me just, bring it out of the table. Okay, on the attacking part of it, we have Rashford on the left normally, and then we have either Greenwood or Okio Marshall in the middle, and then we have Greenwood on the right, maybe either one of it. But why not for a change? We have Luke Shaw left on the left back, and he's amazing, right? We also have Telles, who played very well against Sociedad. Why not we get Telles? I mean, like how Ferguson did many years ago in the FA Cup against Arsenal where he played with 7 defenders. Let's try something new. I mean, I don't know whether I'm right, but Talas on the left wing. The guy has wicked crosses. The guy has wicked crosses. Why? I'm sure Ole is not going to do that. But hypothetically speaking, do you guys think that would be a one-off good choice, maybe for a single match to observe how he does on the left wing rather than left back? Talas on the left wing, Shaw on the left back. What do you guys think?
They're already competing with each other, Talas and Shaw. I hope they don't compete in the game. By being a Halo chicken, that's all I mean. It's actually very interesting thing. But at this point of time, is it really going to be suitable to do it? Experimental thing? I don't think. I mean, it is a very experimental. What do you call that? Starting 11. If we do that, but at the same time, I'm not totally saying it will fail. As you say, if they can really link up well, I'm sure they train together, Shaw and Talas. If they can really link up well and bring in and they put in Bruno's going to be there in the middle, and of course with the likes of Greenwood, Marshall, or Rashford, either one of the two, we can see a lot of goals. And I think both of them have the speed to go back, run back. It will be very interesting, but is it suitable at this point of time? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because the thing is, it has not been tried before. But again, on a fantasy part of things, it will be interesting to see what those two left-legged guys can do in the left wing. Because that would be the most secured wing. Because they are natural and left feet, and Luke Shaw has amazing defending capacity, and Talas has some killer crosses. So that would be nice to see. But again, let's try on FIFA 21 and see. Let's see how it goes there. But we got a comment here from Zlatan Adralanomovic. Thanks, bro, for watching. You remind me of the great God we have. So James and Mata need to start, especially James, who scored with Real. His spirits will be soaring high right now. Well, again, it depends on Ole. But of course, with the momentum going, he had a good game against Sociedad. So I believe if we start him, then he will have a point to prove at the Premier League also, because that's the tougher part compared to Sociedad. So if he starts, I hope he actually have a good game tonight. And we don't have one.
I'm happy, Dinesh, because there's a James fans out there.
David, I hope James start and prove you wrong. It's just good for the team.
I might be proven wrong. Correct. Exactly.
That's what I love to do.
So
correct.
We have a comment from Vinod in regards to my previous suggestion. The experimental lineup should be for the UAL second leg. Talas would suit as a defensive left winger when the team wants to play a whole-back football. Yeah, it depends. It depends on because we have never seen Talas and Luke Shaw play together. Okay, but again, let's be honest. Sociedad match, we don't even have to turn up. We can just say that we're not feeling well. We can quit the game, and we still have a walkover 3-0. We still qualify. So I'm very optimistic for that game. Nevertheless, let's see how it goes. But guys,
no, Dinesh, just be honest. Okay, you just don't want to wake up early in the morning to wash your head.
The thing is, it's what I think Bharat said before the show. I don't know when is my last time I had a good 8 hours sleep. I don't know when is the last time I had 8 hours sleep. But you know what? Is this actually a bonus time for all football fans? Because every day there's a game. Every day it's not your team, but it's a competitive match going on. So that is like, having like blockbuster movies every day of the month, So I think it's just a blessing for us. But again, now let's go back to the most important thing. Prediction, guys. Duhin, we start with you, man. The man in the zebra. What say you?
I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I'm always sticking with 2-1 because I'm not confident with us keeping a clean sheet. That's about it. Yeah. And Bruno will be the scorer. One of the scorer at least.
All right. Fantasy football?
Yes.
I knew it. Thanks, Duane. But before that, we have a optimistic prediction here by Mr. Vinod. 0-1 to Newcastle. Almiron for the screamer. He might just be screaming but not scoring. We wouldn't know. So then again, thanks Vinod for the prediction. Bharat, what do you think about the scoreline? What is your prediction?
3-0 United.
Then who would the scorers be?
I would like to give, I would say Greenwood. Of course, I have to retract back my Sociedad lineup. Green, I would say Bruno definitely scoring, and is creating one for what do you call this? Rashford, and also Greenwood. I'm going to see Greenwood in the score sheet. And if you're lucky, maybe our top left midfielder Maguire will head one in for 4-0.
And also everything.
He's
He's
been
all in
looking
all
to
there.
score, no? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Bharat. Kevin, what say you?
Yep. I'm going to go with a 2-0. Both goals by Daniel James. No, I'm kidding. 2-0. No. 2-0, one by Bruno, one by Rashford.
Bruno and Rashford, so 2-0, comfortable win, huh? All
Yeah,
right, I like your
comfortable
fantasy lineup. I like your fantasy lineup. Thanks, Kevin. All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. Serena?
What about
What
Dinesh
say
and
you?
Serena? Yep. What's
Yeah,
your
let me
predictions
ask
as well?
you first. Ladies first.
Okay.
All right.
For me, I really, if really Daniel James is playing, right, I just hope that I would prove Kevin wrong. Let him score the 2 goals, you know. Okay, my prediction also will be same, 2-0 as well. I'm putting Bruno. And if this is only provided if there will be Bay, Maguire, and Henderson at the back. So my second scorer will be Harry Maguire.
Whoa.
Okay, so 2-0 from you, 2-0 from Kevin, 3-0 from Bharat, and 2-1, I believe, from Duhin, right? Okay, that's good. From my side, I would say 3-1. United is not going to have a clean sheet because we kind of bottled it with the bottom teams. So I believe, personally, I feel United should go 1-0 down. Okay, get the momentum and do a comeback again. You know, it's Old Trafford, no harm. You know, get the second half in. I think it's going to be Bruno. It's going to be Maguire, maybe in a set piece. And I think Greenwood will be getting a goal. Greenwood will be getting also 3-1 from my side.
So you don't see Marshall. You don't see Marshall scoring in.
I don't even see him in the squad anyway.
You just see the
Alright,
Hey,
so,
you guys are very careful with our goal, man. Come on, man. They're going to score more than 3 goals. I'm very, very sure of that.
no, it's like we are just buying an insurance policy. All right, you better go slow of it, you know, because it might backfire us, you know, because people are going to rewind the show back and say you guys were so confident and what happened, you know, and next week you're going to get spammed up. All right, so yeah, let's have a last comment before we end the show. We know again, guys, Daniel James won't play. It's Ole, you know, we know Black to Victory, Celtic lineup, you know. Yeah, we know, you know, everybody know. Let's see what Ole know. You know, we have a prediction from Tazwin. He said, Tottenham fan, thank you, Tazwin, 2-1 to United. I'm not sure why he wants 2-1 United because Tottenham can't catch us anyway. But anyway, thanks, Tazwin, for the, thank you again for the
Hey, okay,
comment.
he's supporting United.
Yeah, but you know what? Tazwin actually rubbed salt to the wood. He said Marshall on a double. Tazwin, you know, is going to start or not. But again, thanks for the prediction. You know, said okay, mission successful, Dave. So show safe on Dinesh and Asin. You just don't know what's my BP level right now running the show. You know, so Dave comments here, Dinesh, 40 number, please. Okay, I got no 40 number here. You know, we can model it. We don't know what's the score line. But again, guys, it's just another weekend for us. We just have to win the game. It all depends on our squad. So, guys, let's just keep fingers crossed. GG United all the way. So, any last words, guys, before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, any last word? Can you start with Duhan first?
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, looking forward to the weeks ahead. After the Newcastle game, we've got the second leg against Sociedad, and thanks to our first leg performance, it's not going to be a competitive game, or it's not going to be much of a hurdle for us, which will ensure that we keep players fresh enough for the tough fixtures against Chelsea and Manchester City. So really looking forward, and we have got the Crystal Palace fixture in between as well. Yeah.
All right, Bharat.
Yeah, looking forward to not so blue Monday tomorrow, and expecting United to trash Newcastle, and just let's be hopeful. I think time will tell us that we are building the foundation very strongly, and let's enjoy the week, guys.
Well spoken. Thanks, Bharat. Kevin, my man. What's
Yep.
your
Not much to say, but just good job, Serena and Dinesh, for hosting. Actually, very well done. Very well done.
thanks?
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Good show.
This is our second week,
Yeah.
both of us running the show. Then
Very good.
again, we need the Grandmaster to come back next week. I can't be having BP tablets every week, man. Come on, man.
Saw the comment. Saw the comment.
Give us enough BP.
Oh yeah, before Serena, we have a comment here from Farida Ini. I love you, Asin. See, again, I told you, it's not only us. The nation talks about you, so you don't blame us for that. So again, Serena, what's
I
your
even I even saw from Dave also just now. I don't Asin so much.
Oh wait, Dave has a good comment here. Bharat reminds me of Johann Sebastian
That's
Veron.
true, actually.
I didn't see that coming, but again, of all the years I know you, I never imagined that. But now I have something to talk about. Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank you so
Serena,
much.
Serena, what's your last words?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thanks for all the speakers, to the guests, especially Duhin, Bharat, first timer, also Kevin. Great to have you guys back, and also Bharat, thank you so much for coming to our show, for promoting our show. We have seen a lot of your fans coming to the show as well. Same time, we would like to tell everyone out there as well, please do like this page, share to all your friends, and you have any speakers out there who wanted to join us, please do let us know. And if you have any female speakers, no, not female speaker, female fans that you know who's as hardcore as me, myself, as Uncle, so just let me know. Maybe we can just get in touch and get them into the show. So thank you so much again for watching. Again, this is another week without Vinod, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun as well. We will get him back next week, hopefully. So yeah, thanks a lot, and thanks for my co-host Dinesh as well.
All right. Thanks, Serena, for the wrap up. So anyway, thanks guys again on behalf of FOOTYtalk for joining the show. Bharat, thanks for being a first timer and you pulled it off quite well. Kevin, Dwayne, you guys never fail to impress. You guys are the twin towers of the show. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
And guys, yeah, and also all the viewers. Before we end the show, please like, subscribe to FOOTYtalk.my on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, also Twitter. We have more shows coming up over the week. We'll keep you guys posted. We are working on great projects ahead. We'll keep you guys posted. So of course, for you to know that, please subscribe to YouTube. You can see all of our past shows and our future shows, upcoming promos there. All right. So anyway, without further ado, thanks guys. Happy weekend to all. And thanks Duane, Bharat, Kevin, and Serena once again. Okay, signing off. Happy weekend. Glory, glory, Man United. We're gonna whoop some Newcastle butts tonight. All right. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Okay, bye.